intervene here because there's not a lot of note taking. Bacteria was put into N14, and when they replicated, they got some N14 into them. Then they were moved to N15, and then because they replicated there, they got DNA in. They got N15 DNA as well. And so there are plasmids in the bacteria, so they extracted that, put it into cesium chloride, and spun it on a centrifuge. And what you need to understand is that as you move down the solution, concentration gradient start to increase. Hence, they got 4 different kinds of results. N14, which was located at the top because it was a very light substance. N15, which was at the bottom because it was a heavier substance. After one generation, they found a mixture of what is known as the intermediate. This is a key term here. Intermediate was in the middle of the test tube, and they found that it was the weight of both the N14 and N15 after one generation. To 2 generations, the N15, sorry, this is meant to be below, but basically the N15 is located at the bottom of the test tube, as well as the intermediate in the 2 generations. And what does this mean? Well, in essence, because the DNA will always try to equal the density of the DNA will always be equal to the concentration of the cesium and chlorine. If you're denser, it means you'll be lower down the test tube. So they continue to grow in the N14. Sorry, they continue to grow in N15. So what happened is that as a result of this, they continue to grow N15 nucleotides, but they also had some of the N14 in their DNA. So that's why we got the intermediate, but the reason we had N15 as well is because it kept growing in the N15. Hence, this explains basically the results. So they got just N14, then they got N14, and then that N14 came along with the N15 in the second result. The third result, they got both the intermediate, and then they got this, which was a single N15, and then N14, N15, N14, N15, and more N15s basically. In essence, what this tried to prove is, and this is where you'll have to do the research on your own, if you click on the link and you move towards the end of the video, what it'll teach you is that why does this work and why doesn't dispersive model work, and why doesn't the not dispersive, but also why doesn't conservative work as well. Sorry, I'm really tired and I'll be sleeping soon, which is why I didn't explain too much. Let me know if you have any questions tomorrow morning.